Pinehurst, an hour and a half away, and I Googled you to fix this chair and my mother-in-law's 1989 rocking chair. And you did such a beautiful job, and you were so nice to deliver it to me. And then we had this fire. You know, you never have a fire at your house. Everybody else has a fire. Well, we were coming home from lunch, and we saw a little smoke coming out of the top of the house. And we went in, and we were heartbroken. It was very devastating to all of us. We're married 57 years, so you know how many memories were in that house.
Yes.
And we're high school sweethearts, so we knew what each family had, and we didn't want them ruined. So we went back the next day, and all of a sudden you were there. And I was so shocked and so happy that the insurance company chose you, that we didn't have to go through all of our Googling again.
It was an amazing experience to have been connected with you again. I mean, it was terrible circumstances, but we were grateful to meet up with you to try to help.
We had just downsized to this home. We had a bigger home. All of our children picked the furniture that they wanted. It was just the little knickknacks, the things I got traveling, that I was just devastated. Our Russian art and our Pennsylvania folk art things. But you went through it with me, and it was just so easy because I knew you. And it was so easy, you could tell me what you could save. For instance, this.
Yeah, and so this is somewhat of a memento of how badly burned this piece was. So tell us about that piece.
It was very bad. And I talked to my daughter this morning, and she said, I'm anxious to hear how the flower chest worked out, because I saw it charred, absolutely charred. It was awful, and this is one of the pieces that we did want to save, and you were able to do it. I can't thank you enough.
Well, great. So how was the experience going from the emotions of having everything in a horrible state to having things moved out of your house? How did that feel to you?
Well, none of the upholstered pieces made it. It was just the hardwood and the clocks and the mementos, and my mother-in-law's big mirror piece, the Victorian piece that really came in the early 1800s. And that, you took me through it. That was gorgeous, what you did.
Yeah, we hope we can show.
It was in gorgeous shape to begin with, but then it was scorched with all the fire. You know, it's really funny how we felt about the fire. We were so glad that nobody was hurt. We saved our cars. Our granddaughter was going to be down the next week, and so it was during the day, and we heard the alarm going off. And everybody was really nice. They put us up at the hotel, and everybody knew that our house burned. It was on a golf course, and everybody went by and said, "Oh, there's the Walker's house. Yeah. It's still burned." So it was hard, I think. But you know, we had other circumstances going on at the same time, which were harder. So everything in perspective, it's being rebuilt now, and we'll see how it goes. It's been taking forever.
Out of all the things that you had in your beautiful home, how many pieces were lost that you felt like were just not savable? You said a lot of the upholstered items. What other things were hard for you to let go of?
Yes, I had some dining room, big china cabinets, some big ones that we couldn't save. And that stored a lot of my china and my crystal, my bar, which was a big, beautiful piece. We couldn't save that. And there were a lot of things. I was really worried about our mementos, but you did a beautiful job with those. And an oil painting of our son we're still working on because he passed away last year. And I would say, Bernard, I'm going to tell you the truth. I didn't mind getting rid of the things that I couldn't save. I was just thankful that I was able to get. And I would get some that were saved. And we were all safe. Our neighbors, nothing happened to their homes. It was a windy day, so it could have, but it was a devastating fire.
Yes.
It really was. The firemen were wonderful, you know. what can I say? We're alive and we're here.
Yes. So were we able to save most of the sentimental things that
Yes, you were.
Okay.
We had received awards, and my husband is a distinguished alumni, and we were able to save those kinds of things that you couldn't get again. I got an award from the American Red Cross for 9/11 for my leadership. We took trains into the city. We were there, so
wow.
I was able to save those things that are really important to me and to my kids.
I see.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
yeah, you saved an awful lot. I would say half, wouldn't you?
Yeah.
Yeah, half.
Yeah, because some were just beyond, but
Oh.
most of the ones that you had a real connection with, we were able to restore.
Yes. Very good sentimental pieces.
So what was the process like? We came in to help you, we moved items, and did it feel comfortable along the way?
I think because I knew you, and I knew the work, and I trusted you, and pieces that you were able to say, I don't think we can save that. You told me right up front, and I appreciated the honesty and your reputation, of course, for doing things. But it was simple. I mean, it was awful. We had masks on. The fire, it smelled terrible. But I think all the linen things collected over the years, they were all gone, of course. And the kitchen was destroyed. I mean, it was a mess.
Yes.
The refrigerator melted. All of the pottery pieces in there, it disintegrated into sand. Nothing was saved. TVs, nothing. So we appreciate it. It was about half you were able to save, and I just saw them, and they're gorgeous.
And so now, based on the horrible experience you've had, what would you tell other homeowners in the midst of this? What should they do, or what should they think about when this happens?
Well, it's really funny. They never found the source.
Oh, they never found.
They had 2 forensic teams come in different times. They could never find the source of the fire. They said it was in the kitchen, but we don't really know. I do know that as I was coming into the house from the outside when we drove up after lunch, the fire alarms were working. And that's really important.
Yes.
That you make sure batteries are in there. If it's hooked up to the police or the fire company or whatever, test that at least once a year. Because if you're in the house, and make sure you have a fire extinguisher. It didn't help us because we weren't in the house or anything.
So then you had a lot of folks were in your home to try to help. Did all of those folks do a good job, the insurance adjuster, the insurance company and so forth, to help you through that process, or was it complicated?
We had a wonderful insurance company.
Oh, good.
Wonderful. They decided, some of the people wanted to rebuild the house, but we knew you could always smell.
Yes.
So they were they decided we're going to knock it down and start all over again. I actually just got my clothing back.
Wow.
I didn't realize that another company tried to get the smoke out of our clothing. So we weren't able to save much, but 10 pieces, and we had on what we wore in our shoes, and that's what you leave with.
Yes.
And
amazing.
We were very fortunate when our daughters came down from DC. They were there almost, the middle of the night. And think about what you would lose. And it's not what you think. My husband wanted his medicines. He said, it takes so long to get medicines. I had my purse, so I had identification. Our safe that was fire resistant melted.
Wow.
So make sure if you're getting that you want to, we had no birth certificates, we didn't have any of those things. Make sure, either put it on another site or make sure it's fire proof,
Yeah.
And what else? It's really funny. It was just a little disorganized. I like organization, so I was just disorganized a little bit, but they filled me in.
So did our team communicate with you well through the process?
Absolutely.
Yeah, good.
You didn't let me go without explaining everything.
Oh, good.
You took pictures as you went.
Yes, ma'am.
Which I still have, and I bring up every now and then to decide where I'm putting them in my house. And you were very upfront about the price. And anyone that is dealing with an insurance company and they only give you so much and you want to keep your house in that budget, I appreciated that you had the price and what you were able to fix and what you were.
Great. So would you recommend Mumford Restoration to
I
others?
have already.
Oh, good.
I have already.
Thank you.
I'm in a couple of clubs down in Pinehurst, and of course everybody always asks about fire, and they have some furniture they want to
Excellent.
fix, and I've told them and gave your number.
Well, we're
Ask
grateful.
for Bernard.
We're grateful for referrals. Thank you very much.
Yes.
It's been a pleasure to work with you too.
It was.
Yes.
Thank you for saving
Yes, ma'am.
things.
Your daughter will
our
be happy.
Stuff.